Okay, I'd like to work on taking some note cards in a project. So if I have my project created, from my projects list, I go back in, and I've already created a works cited list. I click on that, and I had this source that I had picked out about tornadoes, and I wanted to go back to that page and take some notes. I can actually click on this, and it'll take me right back to the page because I put all of that into my citation. And now I want to make a new note. And over here, you'll see I actually already have one, but I'm going to create a new one. I click on New, and it opens up the note-taking part of my citation. And then I can go back to my source, and I see this page about tornado basics. And it says, where do tornadoes occur? It has all kinds of places that I didn't realize. It happens all over the place. Australia, Europe, Africa, Asia, South America, even New Zealand, which I didn't know. And two of the highest concentrations of tornadoes outside the U.S. are Argentina and Bangladesh. You know, the interesting thing about that paragraph is it doesn't list the United States here, but it says in the second one that two of the biggest areas where there are tornadoes outside of the U.S. are these other two countries. So I'm inferring that that means the U.S. actually has them. Oh, and down here, it actually talks specifically about the United States. 1,200 tornadoes a year. They started recording them in the 1950s. Wow. There's a lot of information in here, and I definitely want to get this in my notes because I am wanting to know more about how many there are in the United States every year. So I'm going to highlight that part, go back to my note-taking tool, and I'm going to put in something like frequency or number of tornadoes in U.S. And I am going to go down here and put in, just paste in exactly what I found. And then I need to put this into my own words. Tornadoes have been recorded since 1950. The U.S. has about 1,200 tornadoes each year. Okay, so those are a couple important things I see in there, and I've tried to put those in my own words where I would say it like that, and also to make it kind of put it in even some just bullet points so I know some of the main big ideas there. And then there is this box you can use too about your own ideas. One question I'm having is about where are most of the 1,200 tornadoes each year in the United States. So I'm curious where those 1,200 tornadoes happen. What part of the United States? So if I have other questions that come up from the information I found, I can put those down here in my ideas. I'm also curious about how the number of tornadoes have changed since 1950. So I'm curious if there are more or less, or if it stayed about the same. So I have some ideas and questions that I can go out and keep searching for. I'm going to press save. And now there's my note, exactly what came from the site, my paraphrasing of that, and then some other ideas that I had. And that's all attached to this source. So if I go back to my dashboard for this project, I can get back to it from the works cited. And if I'm from my projects list, I only have the one project, I can click on that. And I can open up my citations here. Or I can even go from the dashboard, I can go straight to my note cards. And it's in this place, and I can pull these out to work on them, or I can add new note cards straight from here, and I can even choose the source I'm using. So there are a lot of ways to do this. Just like we've learned in our tech class, if there's something I'm trying to do, there's usually 2 or 3 ways I can do that. All right, enjoy taking notes.